What up, world? It's your brother Big Man T. You finna check out my biography. You finna know the ins and outs, the ups and downs about your boy. You dig? You dig? You dig? You dig? You dig?
Now baby, hold up a minute. Baby, hold up a minute.
Yeah. I feel you.
So where were you born and raised?
Well, I was born in Galveston, Texas. Galveston, Texas, yeah.
How was it growing up in Galveston?
Well, you know, I was raised in the projects. I was in New Palm Terrace. First we was in Old Palm Terrace, then we was in New Palm Terrace. Those from Galveston, Texas, that might see this, they know what it is. So I was raised in the projects. It was cool coming up. You know, just everybody looked out for everybody. You know, you say anything wrong to an elderly person or an older person in the neighborhood, they go tell your mama. You know, other parents can whoop your butt. You know, you stayed out the street. You didn't use profanity, and you didn't disrespect the neighbor. You know, even though we stayed in the projects, it's nothing like the projects how they portray it now. But the way that we stayed in the projects, you know, you just didn't defile the area of the projects. Everybody actually treated those as actually their homes, real homes, like a home. You know, of course it's a home because you know you can turn anything to a home, but I'm talking about for it's like a home. You know, these were apartments made of brick, but they treated them like they were castles.
Did you play any sports coming up?
Yeah, I was a football head. So, you know, from 8 to maybe 12, I was really just a football maniac. So I was real good at football. And my dream was destroyed by my dad when I was about 9 years old. A guy came and knocked on the door that he knew and said that he would pay for me to play Pee-wee football, and my dad said no. And from that day forward, you know, I was into football, but for it's my dream of really making it to something and really focusing my everything in the football, it died.
What high school did you go to? Because I heard there was, you know, more than one high schools inside of your city.
Yeah, we had 2 high schools. One high school, it was a private school named O'Connell. And then we had the public school, which was Ball High. So I went to Ball High. That was my high school.
Were you a jock, a ladies' man, or a class clown? You know, what did you do inside of school?
Well, I was more like a class clown, but I was kind of quiet. So it's like, you know, I grew up with everybody, so you know, people, you know, they kind of gave me the class clown title because of you know, how I was when we were young. But you know, to be honest with you, you know, maybe around my 10th, 11th, 12th grade year, I was really more just really like a quiet guy. I really wasn't too much of a class clown, so you know, I was real quiet. I tried to play sports, but you know, that didn't. Once a dream gets shattered, you know, you can't, it's hard to really pick that back up if you haven't done it consistently. So, you know, I tried to play basketball, but, you know, I was decent at it my freshman year. That was about the only time. Other than that, it really wasn't worth even talking about sports-wise.
Did you graduate?
No. I failed the TAS test by 1 point, so I just gave up, you know, and I went and I got my GED, and you know, that only took me 1 try, and I got it like that, so I just GED'd it. It's the same thing.
Did you attend college?
Once again, you know, I found myself at this road once again, because you know, when you leave high school, you know, you brainwashed with this mentality of, you know, and you know, you need to go to college. You know, I only went to college to really impress my parents, to make it seem like I was doing something. But honestly, I never liked school. School is very boring to me. Um, I like what I like, and that's no pun intended for anybody that's going to college. You have people who I look at this world as a business. So the business of school is for you to go there and make it be serious enough for whatever field you're trying to get into. You know, don't go there just to impress somebody or go there just to look the part. You know, really go there and really figure out what you're trying to do. And if that's something that you're trying to do, then those are the proper steps that you need to take in order to get to the next level. But for us with me, to you know, to kind of like summarize it, no, college was a horrible thing for me. I didn't stay long. I just stayed a semester. Um, I even tried to with a guy that I hung around with. We even tried to go to a school. I think a school in Huntsville or something like that. We tried to go to some college in Huntsville, and I wouldn't have took it seriously. I'd have dropped out of that. So, you know, college for me, yeah, I went just a semester. So it, you know, and I didn't even pay attention to what I was even trying to take up, because the thing that I was trying to take up, I didn't care about that. So I'm just being real with you. Yeah, I went, but it was just for a semester.
So after that, what did you do?
Well, after that, I was 19. So after I graduated high school, I was 18, and I didn't start, start again until I didn't start college until like that. I think I was 18. I apologize. I was 18 at the time. So yeah, my birthday. No, I was 19 because I graduated when I got my GED. Then that summer was my birthday. So yeah, when I started college, I was 19. So after college, after I did the college thing, I was only 19. So I kind of just, just really hung out, to be honest with you, I really just kind of just flirted around, and was trying to really find my way mentally. But,
What was going through your head at that time?
you know, this is gonna sound crazy, but like when the way that we were brought up by people who were brainwashed to believe that this world was not a business, that this world is some type of magical portal, and whatever you say, that's what's gonna happen. This world is a business, and the business was to raise us to understand the business. So. I really didn't understand that I had everything that I needed inside of me, the drive that I needed, the vision that I needed. I had I had visions of things that I wanted to do ever since a child. But it's just when you don't have that backing, you kind of, it's like a fish out of water, and you just do this, and you really trying to figure out, you're really trying to figure out your next move in life, and you're trying to figure out, what can I do? How can I make this impact? Because you brainwashed to believe as a young person that, oh, you're the future and you can shape and mold everything, and that's furthest from the truth. That's furthest from the truth. You can't bend and mold anything. All this stuff is already on the path. All you can do is just survive and live and take care of yourself. And once you start understanding that you live and you take care of yourself, and you happy with who you are and happy with what you're doing, then things would work out more for you. But for me at that time, I was angry. I was angry at my parents. I was angry at at myself. I lived in the past a lot. My thought process was messed up. Just discouragement at that time. It was very discouraging, and I just, it was very, it wasn't, it was a dark time for me at that time. I'm not gonna lie to you, it really was.
Well, you said that you were hanging out. Did you party or anything like that?
Yeah, like really, we really didn't party, just hung out, to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes. I wouldn't even come home for like weeks at a time. I remember one time I came home and my sister took all my stuff out of my room and moved all her stuff inside of my room, and I had to kick her out. But, I would come home, I wouldn't come home for a whole week, because, it just, all we was doing was just riding around, drinking, hanging out. Hanging out. I'm spending the night at other people's houses and stuff, sleeping on their couch like a common troll or something, like a homeless person or something, and it was just, to some people it's, oh, well, you're just trying to find your way. Like, yeah, but this is why it's so important to always talk to your kids while they're young and set examples about life while they're young, because the billionaires and the trillionaires, that's what they do. And the millionaires, that's what they do with their kids. Some of them spoil their kids and some of them don't. You have to prepare a child for life. Life is not a job. Life is not a career. Life is a roller coaster. And you have to be prepared when you strap yourself into that roller coaster and you say, click, that this life is going to take you on a serious ride. And once you get off that ride, you either going to say, oh my goodness, and you, bleh, or you going to jump back on. And this time when you jump back on, you already know what to expect. So the best thing that you can do for a young person is constantly just keep talking to them and constantly taking them underneath your wing and explaining them the pitfalls of life and telling them that this world is a business. This world is not this whole happy-go-lucky thing. This world is a business, and you have to treat it as such.
Get ready to jog.
No, that's what I said. Hold on, man. Hold on. What are you doing?
I just.
You're not.
No, I'm not.
What you want?
Well, I'm just curious. Where'd you get this jacket from?
It's the Paper World Empire collection, man. Go to payhip.com/paperworldempire. Don't follow me, man. All right, go on now. Go.
Yeah, like that's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly.
So when did you decide to get into music?
1999, when I decided to go ahead and get into the music business.
My sources tell me that, you wanted to be a DJ.
Yeah, I was thinking about being a DJ. That would be the easiest way for me to get into the industry, because they get all the records first. But, I started thinking, why play people music when they can play mine?
So when did you start your label?
I started my label, fully started it in 2000.
2000?
End of 99, early 2000.
Okay.
Beginning of 2000, really.
Okay. So did you sign any artists?
Yeah, I signed my cousin first. We put out his little record, City of Chaos, and then I signed his friend and we put out Street Soldier.
Did you sign anybody else later on?
Yeah, later on I signed a guy from, they were called the Originals, and one was from A-Leaf, Texas, and the other one was from Cleveland. So I signed them later, I think around 03. I signed them around 04.
What did y'all release?
They released the newest recruits. For them, Street Soldier for my cousin's friend, and for my cousin's City of Chaos.
So what made you go solo?
Just when I was doing music way before these guys were even doing anything, even pertaining to music. So I've been interested in just creating music. So that's why I really went solo, because like I said, it's either in you or it's on you. So it was in me.
So what did you release?
My first release was One Deep. That was a classic in my city of Galveston. At that time, it was only 3 labels. It was me, Paper World Records, No Plex, and Salty Water Records. Those were the only 3 labels in Galveston at the time. So when I released that, it was like, and everybody in Galveston knew about it. Everybody in Galveston knew about it. Because it was actually in stores, because I put it in stores. Like I said, that book really helped me, so I put it in stores so people could check it out, and everybody in Galveston knew about it.
Okay. So you started a label, signed artists, went solo. Did you ever join any groups?
Well, the group, the originals, they split because the guy from Houston, Alief, Texas, he went to play semi-pro football. So I had to start a group with the guy from Cleveland to kind of get him on his feet so he can kind of, do whatever he was going to do. So me and him started a group, and we put out 2 releases. The first release was, it's still known in Germany to this day. And the second release was, it didn't really do anything. So, it was just really, it was more of an EP more than anything. So, he was on his solo thing or what he was doing. And, he just, it was just something for us to just, come back together just to do. That was it.
So explain your early style.
My early style was more like reality. It was like reality rap, talking about my city, talking about my life. And then it started venturing off into gangster rap. And I started becoming more like, I wouldn't say like Scarface, but it was similar to what Scarface, like the real hardcore version of Scarface is. I was harder than that. It was really hood talk. That's what I call it, hood talk.
So why'd you change your style?
Well, as an artist, you grow. You don't think the same way that you thought before. And, and my life changed. I had a family, and my mind changed, and I just didn't want to think negative like that anymore. So I changed and started talking about my life and all the roller coasters. Kind of like what I told you from before, the previous question. I was doing reality rap, so it's kind of like I'm doing the same thing. This was, all this music is really talking about my life, as relationship wise, and that's what I created.
So are you ever gonna release another group project?
No, I'm through with groups. I'm done with groups. Everybody has their own mindset of what they think their reality is, and I respect every last bit of it. The only way I would do a group record with somebody is if we kind of like artistically on the same playing field, and it got to be compensation. I'm not going to do anything for free. You feel me?
Yeah, I know what you mean. So where are you now in your music career?
Just constantly building upon the style that I created. There's nothing new under the sun, but this is just something that I feel that I revitalized or brought back from the dead or whatever, however you want to do it. Because there's plenty of people that do what I do. I just do what I do, and they do what they do, and I salute you for doing what you're doing. My son told me to drop an EP every 2 months, so I just been dropping EPs, and mixtapes, and just it's in me, and I'm just having fun with it, and just getting better and better and better, till Jesus come back and get us, you know what I'm saying?
So what inspires you to keep creating music?
Just art, it's just in me. It's not on me, like I said, it's in me. This is in me. This is nothing that's forced. I don't force to do this. It happens like that. See, when it happens like that, then it's not forced. When you have to force it, it's not meant for you to do. Some people might look at that, y'all might look at that in a different way, but if you have to force your hand, it's not meant for you to do. But if it just comes to you, then it's just naturally for you. And this is just naturally for me. I don't have to force it. I could walk away from it for a year and come back and be even better. So it's just naturally in me. I don't force it. I just, if I don't feel it, I delete it. If I feel it, I keep it. that's the beauty of being an artist, a true artist. I'm a true artist. So, you know, the way I do things, the way that I see the world, I see it through a different lens than any other artist. You have rappers, you have entertainers, and then you have artists. I'm an artist. You know, I'm comfortable in my own skin, so I'm not embarrassed by anything that I do. You know, oh man, you know you doing this, and hey man, that's what I felt and I did it, and I don't feel bad about it.
So, I gotta ask, what's next for Big Man T?
I don't know. You know, one thing that I can say about me is, as crazy as this is gonna sound, you know, some people can plan. I can't. Every day, it has to just happen for me. I can't plan anything. If I plan anything, it's gonna be a disaster. So for me, I don't know. You know, whatever the Lord's will is, you know, I'm just gonna keep pushing, taking care of my boys, and you know, and just keep creating, and you know, and who knows? You know, who knows? You know, who knows where the wind blows?
Well, thank you for your time. Are there any shout outs that you want to give?
Yeah, you know, I want to give a shout out to my boys. I want to give a shout out to my parents. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's checking this out. Thank you. Please go to my, I know this is a cliche. Oh, you know, just go to my Instagram. Let me tell you something. Go to my Instagram. Click on the bio, click the link in the bio. Go to my Koji. Become a Royal fan. You would not be disappointed, and I promise you that. You would not be disappointed. You know, all the people that used to be on my label, man, hey, what's up, y'all? I salute y'all. Everybody goes through things. You know, sometimes it ain't even our fault, it's the Giants' fault. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, God bless. You know, pray nothing but success for everybody. Pray that everything, you know, that if it's on you, wash it off, go do something else. If it's in you, if it's in you, then it'll work. If it's not, wash it off, go do something else, man, and enjoy your life, you know. And you know, that's pretty much it, man. And you know, it's been a blessing, and I'm out of here, y'all. Deuce.
I'm gonna get me some more exercise.
What? Bro, you following me?
Whoa, you got polos too?
Yeah, man. Come on. Exercise. You happy, man? Now listen, I'm gonna tell you again. payhip.com/paperworldempire.
Hold up, baby, hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up, baby, hold up. Wait a minute. Should've left you in the fire a long time ago, but my heart was speaking for me, so I let it go.